Hey guys, Chris again from ClassicVWBugs.com, and yeah, it is March 2021. We got a beautiful day here in New York. I think it's about 55 degrees, something like that, maybe 60 degrees, and I had to take my bug out. So I got my 61 convertible running here, and I hope you hear that nice little 40 horsepower engine. Just a beautiful day, and anytime I got a day like this, it's been a while. We've had a pretty, February was a crazy winter here in New York. So if I can take out this baby, I will. And it's always good to stretch their legs after they've been sitting a while. So what are we going to talk about? Last week I put out a video comparing fenders, the Gerson fenders from Classic Fab and the BBT fenders. And the fellow that I had on the show with me was very generous enough to put his time up and show us his fenders. And you know, those are ideally good fenders for like a good picture perfect restoration that you're going for. They're ideal for maybe earlier Beetles, you know, if you're into the oval or split window era Beetles, you know, those fenders are they're gonna work really nicely for you. And yes, the downside is that they are expensive. You know, you're looking at 500 bucks a pop, and if you got to get 4 fenders, that's $2,000. So I know it's simple math, Chris, but you know, just wanted to shoot that out there to you. And you know, I got a lot of comments on that, and people couldn't believe how expensive the fenders are. Now, the toss-up, whether going with that fender or say a Brazilian fender from IGP, or you get something like a Mexican fender, you know, from one of the other VW shops, is that they're not going to fit just right. And then there's a lot of finagling you're going to have to do bodywork wise if your car is out at a body shop. So then on top of that, you're going to have an extra expense to get them straight. And now sometimes that will add up to, if not more, than buying an actual, you know, good fender, say from BBT or Classic Fab. So some things to consider. Again though, if you're not going for a crazy spot-on restoration, you know, you can get away with, you know, if you don't mind and the curvature's just not as right, or you know, like what the fellow showed me online, Doug, was that the, you know, his rear fenders came down past his apron. That was surprising that I saw that out of a Classic Fab fender. Usually you see that kind of thing out of a Brazilian fender like the IGPs, or a Mexican or Italian fender. You usually see that problem. As far as rear fenders, the IGP are not too bad. They do sell a fender that has the correct stampings in between the bolt holes if you were going for that look. And I haven't had too much of a problem with those fitments on those fenders. So something to consider. You know, they're not terrible. The only downside to the IGP fenders is they're not as heavy duty. The gauge metal is not as thick. So if that's a concern of yours, something to consider. You know, but other than that, I mean, that was I got a great response out of that video, and I just got a ton of questions afterwards, so I wanted to spill that over to you. So but yeah, I mean, that's basically what's happening. And thankfully, I don't know what vlog number this is. I've lost track already, so I'll put it in the title, of course, for this YouTube video. But I'm glad I'm starting to see some states are opening up, and COVID looks like it's slowly on its way out of here. The vaccine is getting through the country, and the reason I'm saying this is because I want some shows. You know, I'm dying to go to some car shows, especially Volkswagen shows. I think everything in my area last year was closed down. And man, gosh, am I craving going to a show. It's just great camaraderie, and it's always great to talk to people, especially with Volkswagens, because you know, you guys know, they are conversation pieces, and we need to keep that going. So I'm definitely going to probably do the fall foliage cruise again this year, so I'm not going to shut that down. We did it last year, and it was a great success. Even with COVID, we kept our distance, had our masks on, and that's it. It was a wonderful, wonderful time. So I'm not going to stop that at all. But yeah, you know, leave it in the comment section below this video, guys. I'd love to hear, if your states are opening up and if you guys got some car shows, I wouldn't mind doing another vlog and just start naming some shows that are open to help you guys out in your states, and give a shout out to some of those VW clubs out there, and just kind of got to keep this dream alive, got to keep these cars going. So hopefully we start to see a nice little improvement this year, 2021. So I'd like to hear what your guys' thoughts are on that, and yeah, shoot them out there. But other thing I wanted to talk about are parts pricing. I know we just briefly spoke about the fenders, and it looks like Beetle prices across the board the past 2 years have just skyrocketed. I was taken aback last year when I started tallying up some of the restorations that we're doing for clients, and to see their final tally on my spreadsheets is remarkable of how much they have jumped. And I've said it in the past, I used to be able to get your average Beetle parts, interior, chrome trim, insulation, wiring, all the stuff it needed, chassis work, all that stuff to assemble your whole Beetle for a full restoration. Remember, you used to be able to get them in the bag under 10 grand. It always hovered around 6, 7, 8 grand, depending on the make, year, model, car. Now, guys, I'm adding 10 grand on top of that. So they have gone up so much in price. When it's added all up at the end of the day, the parts pricing has gone up exponentially. Now, I'm not the only guy saying this. I spoke to a few other shops across this country. They're saying it. Materials have gone up in price for interior work. And then even a couple of Porsche places that I've spoken to as well, same thing. Even in the Porsche realm, the parts prices have gone up considerably. So something to keep in mind, when you're doing restorations, and say you're doing a mom and pop or father-son sort of resto, keep in mind now your budget. I mean, I still get people that call me saying they want a restoration done and wondering if I can keep the resto within 20 grand. And I gotta tell, it's impossible. I mean, between your parts alone, paint, it's gonna be more than 20 grand. And that's not counting even my labor to put the whole car together. So, those are prices that are, good 15, 20, 30 years ago. You might have been able to do that sort of thing. For a full restoration, it's not gonna happen. So something to really keep in mind, guys. I mean, is the hobby getting out of reach for some people? Maybe. You used to be able to do this, like I said, in your backyard for a reasonable budget. And but now it's I think the popularity of the car continues to grow. The Volkswagen is doing tremendous on the market, and I've said this in the past, it just keeps going up slowly, which is nice. Not huge spikes, it's gradually going. Like I said, 2-3 years ago, you used to be able to pick up a decent 68, 69, 70 Beetle, for under 10 grand. A nice high-end driver sort of thing. Cute car, standard look, say a black with a, red interior, or black with white interior, or navy blue with, white interior, something like that. TMI kit, standard carpet kit, headliner, whatever, for under 10 grand. Now, something in really decent shape, even if it's got some, crusty stuff on the edges here or there, I'm seeing a mid-teens to high teens now. So, yeah, they've gone up. It's very quickly. So, something to think about. It seems like this little car is getting out of reach for some hobbyists or some people that just want to tinker and do something on budget. So I'm not saying you can't. You might have the resources where you can buy parts at a discount, or you can get a paint job done at a discount. If you know somebody or you're handy. But in my state, I mean, body and paint is just expensive. So something to consider. But it's a good thing in a way. I mean, you're investing money into something that's actually going up in value. I mean, that's always nice. Never really used to be that way, So, but if you're wondering where I'm driving, So I've told you I started another YouTube channel. It's called Malone's RC Hobby. And sure enough, like a maniac, I'm going out to get the latest and greatest car that just came out. That's an absolute beast, and it's called the Arma Creighton, and it's a 5th scale, and it weighs about 30 pounds. And it's a beast, and probably goes about 50-55 miles an hour, and it's a nutty car. But anyways, that's where I'm driving, so I'm just taking some back roads to go to New Jersey, Hohokus, New Jersey, which RC shop called Cruisin' RCs. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm just so happy that March is here, and we're getting closer to spring. We're getting a taste of spring here. I'm driving the Bug. It just feels great. Car's running good. So, other thing too, now that spring's coming near, what usually I do is, you know, I do an oil change. I check my cars every spring so they're ready for the season. So oil change, valve adjustment, tune-up stuff, just go through the car. It's always a good idea to do that if it's definitely been sitting all winter long. If you're sitting all winter, remember the ethanol gas gets kind of stale, things get kind of crappy when they sit for a long time. So start going through your car and getting it ready for spring. And it's, if you get a decent day like I have out today, take the car through its paces and stretch its legs a little bit and get it ready. So I do this every year, so I don't really go by 3,000 mile oil changes, you know, because I really don't put 3,000 miles on my Beetles every year. So I just kind of do it every year anyway, just to start fresh, and I'm good for the season. And then I usually do a full detail in the beginning of the year as well, and then the year is good, you know, so I keep it out of the rain. I don't have to worry about detailing it for the rest of the year. I just, if I do anything, it's just a mist and wipe, you know, just to clean it up and keep it fresh. So, but that's it, guys. Just a short vlog today. March 2021 is actually coming in like a little lamb, not going out like a lion. So far, it's been okay. We had some cold spurts, but, you know, this is good. I think we're supposed to hit 65 tomorrow in New York. So, anyways, guys, I hope you like this video, this vlog. I hope you got some useful tips out of it. Haven't done a vlog in a while, so I figured I'd shoot you guys a vlog. And yeah, please be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I'll be bringing you VW content like this each and every week. And yeah, if you guys want, this week or next week, I'm going to be doing a video on a guy in the RC world. He's got all Volkswagen kind of RCs. So very interesting. I definitely had to interview this guy to show me his RC collection. He's out of Danbury, Connecticut. So I'm hoping to get that video out there. If I do see this guy's little collection of Volkswagens, I think it's pretty damn cool. Because I think if you have a vintage Volkswagen, I have some model Volkswagens myself. And it's always good to have in your little repertoire when you're driving around. I see a lot of guys that go to car shows, they'll bring their Volkswagen and bring model Volkswagens with them as well. They'll put in the trunk or something for display. Always pretty cool. So anyways, all right, guys, love talking to you. Leave anything in the comment section below if you got a reply for anything, and I'll see you next time. Take care.